calls up Senate Bill 241 and recognizes Senator Corona relating to the authority of an electric customer to choose not to have a utility's advanced meters. Senator Corona, you're recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Van Pute. Advanced meters, commonly known as smart meters, are a component of smart grid technology network that's intended to monitor the electric grid and notify grid operators with information about electric outages, use, and other similar information. Adoption of the use of smart meters was encouraged by the legislature back in 2005 because of their potential to increase the reliability of the regional electrical network, encourage dynamic pricing and demand response, make better use of transmission assets, and provide more choices for consumers. Since that time, there's been a considerable amount of public concern about privacy issues and the potential health effects related to the use of smart meters, and those concerns have not gone unnoticed. My remarks will address both the file version of the bill and the committee substitute. Senate Bill 241 was filed, would allow a consumer to opt out of having a smart meter installed in his or her home. It would also allow an electric utility to charge a customer a reasonable fee for costs associated with the refusal to allow for the installation of the meter and the cost to provide traditional metering services. The committee substitute to the bill requires customers to opt in to the home area network technology portion of the advanced meter rather than requiring them to opt out. There are currently consumer privacy protections in place for data that is maintained by the electric utility, but none for the data that is collected on site, whether or not transmitted to the utility. The committee substitute closes this gap by requiring the customer to authorize access by the utility to information collected and maintained on site. The commission may impose an administrative penalty if the utility fails to do this. Members, and for that matter those in attendance, I recognize that this bill in its original form, and I would go further and say perhaps that much more in its substitute, falls short of what a good number of people have asked for when this issue was brought to my attention. Having said that, there are reasons why, and what we're going to try to do today is hear from people who have concerns about this issue and the bill as substituted, and then also from industry experts that help us respond intelligently as to why certain other options are either not possible or not practical, particularly in an environment of the consumer not being willing to incur any additional cost for further modification. There isn't any magic to this. If we can find an answer that both sides can live with, it doesn't have to be a perfect answer. We're certainly willing to make further changes to the bill as the testimony and from both sides would direct us. So, Senator, with that, my remarks are complete, and there are a number of witnesses on both sides of this issue.
Thank you very much. Senator Corona sets up the committee substitute to Senate Bill 241. Members, are there any questions? If not, we would like to open public testimony on the committee substitute. I'm going to call you probably in panels of 4. So the chair calls, and my apologies if I mispronounce your name. Steve Davis, Marita Mirzatuni, did I say that right? Jeff Strasser, and Stacy Whitehurst. As you come up, please come up and take a chair, and please identify yourself for the record. Thank you. And we are under the 3-minute limit. We still have a lot of business to do today, but we are interested in hearing your testimony. Mr. Davis, if you will begin.
My name is Steve Davis. I'm here on behalf of the Alliance for Retail Markets. We're an incorporated group of retail electric providers that operate and serve customers within those areas of the state open to retail competition. We support the committee substitute for Senate Bill 241 for, I guess, 2 primary reasons. First, the Public Utility Commission is currently undertaking a rulemaking proceeding in project number 41111, in which customers will have the ability to opt out of having an advanced meter or smart meter, and there are costs that are associated with that opt-out decision. But so therefore, I think that the objectives that were trying to be achieved in the original Senate Bill 241 are being addressed, and currently by the PUC. You know, there's some difference of opinion on how that's going to be implemented, and it may not turn out exactly the way that we'd like for it to, but I think that the end result will be there will be an opt-out option for customers who do not desire a smart meter, and then there will be some kind of cost recovery mechanisms to ensure that the utility recovers whatever it takes in order to implement that decision. And with respect to committee substitute for Senate Bill 241, we think that it strikes an appropriate balance between privacy concerns and the need for retail electric providers and ERCOT to have certain information relating to customer usage, things of that nature, in order for the competitive market to work. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Any questions? If not, will the next witness please begin?
Madam Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Jeff Straster. I'm with AEP Texas, and at that utility I perform the duties of manager of the advanced metering infrastructure. I'm here today on behalf of AEP Texas to express support for the committee substitute for Senate Bill 241. We believe this substitute provides some more stringent guidelines around the consumer protection and privacy of data that's collected inside the home or in an environment that's sometimes referred to as a home area network. And with that, I would make myself available for any questions that you might have of AEP Texas.
Thank you very much. Members, any questions? If not, thank you for your testimony today.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Madam Chairman and members, my name is Stacy Whitehurst, and I serve as Vice President of Regulatory Affairs for Texas New Mexico Power Company. Part of my responsibility is the advanced meter deployment for Texas New Mexico Power. Texas New Mexico Power appreciates the work of the Chairman Corona and the staff in bringing this bill and supports the committee substitute for Senate Bill 241 as laid out. TNMP has currently deployed approximately 90,000 meters out of an estimated 240,000 meters. TNMP is currently working on integrating an outage management system to improve response and restoration times. When TNMP installs an advanced meter, the meter used to communicate to the home area network is turned off. If and when a customer decides to turn the home area network, decides to use the home area network, the customer initiates the request to have the radio turned on. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Members, are there any questions? If not, thank you very much for being here. And Marita, if you will please pronounce your last name for me so I don't butcher it again.
Mirzatuni.
Mirzatuni. Thank you. If you'll say complete name, then you can begin your testimony.
Okay, Madam Chairman and committee members, thank you. My name is Marita Mirzatuni, and I'm representing Environmental Defense Funds. And we support Senate Bill 241. Since 1967, EDF has found innovative ways to solve big environmental problems. That is why we support modernizing our utility grids, including enabling smart meters to achieve environmental consumer benefits. A well-designed smart grid is critical to the clean energy revolution we need, enabling significant greater use of clean, renewable domestic energy resources and improved air quality to protect the health of millions of Americans harmed by dangerous air pollution. Smart meters are a key component of the smart grid. They unlock air quality, climate pollution, and public health benefits by enabling two-way, real-time communication, giving households, small businesses, manufacturers, and farmers the information they need to cut energy use and electricity costs. These devices help ensure that everyday energy users reap the many benefits of the smart grid, from lower energy bills to financial compensation for providing capacity. Radio frequency issues have become controversial recently, but research shows that every day we come into contact with RF from a wide variety of sources, including but not limited to wireless and cell phones, microwaves, wireless internet routers, hair dryers, baby monitors, and wireless laptops. A study by the Electric Power Research Institute, or EPRI, found that a cell phone call exposes a person to hundreds of times more RF than a transmitting smart meter. Moreover, smart meters only transmit signals roughly 2 to 5% of the day, which is approximately 30 to 70 minutes. What we do know for certain is that the emissions from coal and other fossil fuels have known impacts on public health, from lung disease to mercury contamination, and smart grids via smart meters allow consumers to reduce those impacts. Once a smart grid is in place, it will improve air quality and health of millions of Americans. Consumers will be able to shift demand to when energy is cheaper, which will save them money during peak times when utilities have to run the dirtiest and most expensive types of power plants. Smart grids make it possible to adjust demand to follow variable wind and solar supplies, and thus enable us to be more clean, renewable, to use more clean, renewable, homegrown energy, reducing environmental damage done by mining, burning coal, and natural gas. Smart grids also facilitate the switch to electric vehicles by allowing drivers to smart charge them at night when energy, including pollution-free wind power, is abundant and cheap, cutting foreign oil imports and environmental damage done by domestic oil drilling. Additionally, many consumer advocate groups support smart meters, including NRDC, Ohio Consumers Council, United Consumers Advocacy Network, and the Alliance to Save Energy. Furthermore, this bill substitute protects privacy, and the language clearly states that no person, unless authorized, can access or disclose the resident's customer information or control equipment connected to a home area network on the customer side of the meter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Great. Thank you. Mr. Davis? Go ahead.
We've all spoken.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to take these four at a time as well. We have you come forward. LaShonda Summerlin speaking for the bill. Mark Summerlin wishing to speak for the bill. Russell Ramslin and Dr. Michonne Hawkins. As the others are coming forward, if y'all want to go ahead, and we'll just start from the right to the left, and go ahead and introduce yourself and who you're with, and we'll go. Either way, don't really.
My name is Mark Summerlin, currently a resident of Coppers Cove, Texas. I'm here this morning to discuss the smart meter issue. Approximately about a year ago, I started experiencing headaches, more so like a pulsating feeling in my temples. I went to the my doctor several times. At first, I contributed to the fact that maybe my blood pressure medication was not necessarily doing its job, and that turned out to not be the case. As I said, I went several times. At first, I was the one that was experiencing the problems. After about a year or so, my wife started experiencing the same problems, and we also have a 11-year-old son who frequently has nosebleeds, and that's also one of the signs that they deem smart meter sicknesses. And so I'm here today because I've removed 2 smart meters from my home. Initially, I contacted Oncor and told them that I did not consent to having a smart meter placed on my residence. No one ever gave me the option. I mean, we're talking a lot about opting out. Nobody gave me the option of opting in. And so I'm here today because, as I said, I gave Oncor a substantial amount of time to come and remove the smart meter. I deemed it as self-defense for myself because I felt like, as of right now, me and my wife, we're sleeping in the living room. We've tried to move ourselves as far away as possible from this meter because I cannot sleep in that room. I moved my daughter from her room, where her room is on the right side of the smart meter as well. As I said, Oncor never responded to any allegations that I claimed against them. I purchased an analog meter online, and at that particular time, when they did not respond, I removed the smart meter, the first smart meter from our residence, and I also removed the second one. And now I have 5 locks on the smart meter that's on the side of my home. And in closing, because I see my time is going now, you might be thinking to yourselves that that I have an EMF radiation surveillance device on the side of my home, and I'm not affected by these symptoms as well. But as of now, you know, we have people that are affected by pollen, by ragwood, and these smart meter sicknesses are very much real to me as pollen and ragwood is to these other people. And so, you know, I think that originally that House Bill 2129 was misinterpreted and misconstrued by the public utilities and also by Oncor, and I think it's very unfair that we have to be subjected to having this smart meter, deemed smart meter, that was never mandated, and it was originally encouraged and suggested. It was never mandated for us to have it. And now I'm in a position of where I'm paying mortgage and I have to stay in my living room. And it's